It's a clear geopolitical game. I mean, United States, European countries, the G7, the NATO, the collective West, of course, they see China as a threat to their hegemony, to their domination. And for the global South, this might be an opportunity to have partnerships with China to bring some of these factors, because our countries need to industrialize or reindustrialize. This is the first time that we have a major economy, such a strong economy, in the realm of the global South. So it's absolutely strategic.
Ahead of our visit to China, US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen raised the bogey of China's overcapacity in the clean energy industries, including solar panels and electric vehicles. Yellen said she intended to warn Chinese officials about the undesirable impact of subsidies for China's renewable energy products on the United States and its closest allies. However, can the world afford to be held hostage to US interests in the realm of clean energy technology? Do nations in the global South have a voice in determining the adoption of more affordable and accessible variants of such technology to ensure a sustainable future? And how can global South countries benefit from China's innovation-led growth? To delve into these pressing questions, we caught up with Brazilian researcher Marco Fernandes on the sidelines of an event at Renmin University of China in Beijing.
Actually, what they mean by overcapacity, I mean, first of all, it's true that they say that, oh, China state is subsidizing these companies. Yes, it is. As US government subsidize its companies, as European Union heavily subsidize, for instance, the agricultural sector and protects the agricultural sector from other countries like Brazil. Brazil cannot export to Europe lots of products because it's protected. So this is part of the game. This is how the global market works and how competition in the global market works. But looks like when China does, oh, it's bad. Oh, it's not, it's cheating.
Another point is whether this overcapacity that is being talked about is in the interest of the larger global market, including in the global South, or not. When China is manufacturing at a particular cost and in a particular scale, it makes those products available to a large number of other countries as well.
Absolutely.
Do you agree?
Absolutely. And also controls the inflation in the global North countries. So again, but this is about market competition, and the West is seeing that in some sectors they are staying behind of China. There's also the issue of innovation. I mean, China was able in the last years to have a huge leap in innovation, both in electric vehicles, in solar panels, in renewable energies, wind turbines, etc. And of course, it's a matter of to try to have balanced partnerships, for instance, joint ventures, like China did 40 years ago with US and European companies. Maybe now it's time for Brazilian companies to team up with Chinese companies, for instance, to produce electric vehicles or solar panels in Brazil.
It is important to acknowledge that China's policy and investments in renewable energy have propelled the world towards a more sustainable future. The production of solar panels and electric vehicles at a large scale has significantly contributed to lowering costs and making green technology more accessible globally. Cheaper Chinese goods in these sectors have accelerated the adoption of clean energy solutions, providing affordable options for developing countries, particularly those in the global South. What do you see as the greatest benefit for the global South in having a great economic relations with China?
China is already, in PPP terms, is already a larger economy than the US. So I think this gives to us historically what is the importance of China for the global South and how strategic can be all sorts of partnership with China, technological, financially, diplomatic, industrial, military. So this is, I think it's a new chapter that we can start building from now on. I think there's some agreements and investments that China has been doing, especially in the last couple of years, that might shift a little bit the level of partnership. I would say in a higher level. For instance, some of the investments to process some of the strategic natural resources that the global South has, for instance, lithium in Bolivia or the nickel in Indonesia. In Zimbabwe, for instance, right now, Chinese companies building like a $1 billion steel plant and also one lithium plant to process lithium in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is a country that is hit by a lot of sanctions from the United States, so also it's very important from the economy. So I think this is the examples of high level or high quality partnership between other countries of the Global South with China that we can start building.
Fernandes also cited China's robust relations with Latin America and particularly Brazil's record trade surplus as additional evidence of Beijing's mutually beneficial partnerships with the countries of the Global South.
Latin America is also looking to China, again, looking for a different kind of partnership with a major economy. And I think this has been developing at least in the last 20 years. Brazil now, for instance, had like the record with trade with China. We had like more than $100 billion trade, and actually Brazil had a $50 billion surplus with China, which is very rare. Usually the countries, they have deficits with China, but Brazil, because of the soy, the oil, the iron ore, Brazil has a very good trade relations, very beneficial.
How do the geopolitical and economic tensions between China and US impact Brazil's equations with particularly China, but also both the countries?
Well, I think it interferes in the sense that more and more US has this behavior that it's almost like they don't say that, they deny that, but it's as if you have to pick one of the sides. And a country like Brazil is a huge country, is now the 9th biggest economy in the world. We don't have to pick sides. We have to do what is best for the country. In some sectors is to deal with the US, in some others to China. I personally believe that it's more strategic to deal with China, but we still have very big investments. For instance, the US has more investments in Brazil than China. So of course, Brazil being a big country just has to maintain its own sovereignty and makes decisions in Brasilia and not in Washington, neither in Beijing.
In conclusion, the implications of the strained China-US relationship resonate far beyond their borders. The Global South, in particular, finds itself at crossroads navigating the repercussions of this geopolitical friction. While the rhetoric surrounding issues like China's alleged overcapacity in clean energy industries persists, it is crucial to recognize the broader context at play.